doing the whole mobile gamer thing today. I'm holding onto my mic. So, you guys, those of you who are still here, we're sticking it out, all right? We've had some dark times in Galaxy of Heroes. In fact, I made this Reddit post earlier today about it. Check it out if you haven't. There's a lot of concerning things going on in this game, but ultimately, I love the game, and I don't want to go anywhere. I want to keep playing this game. I think it's super fun. I think there's some big things that need to change. I voiced them here pretty bluntly, and I hope that CG listens to that. But for those of us who are sticking this out, we've just kind of come to the climax, I think, of all of this Clone Wars content, right? We've got General Anakin, or General Skywalker, he's out, and only about 6,000 people got him, according to SWGoH.gg. Now, that's just the people who are on SWGoH.gg, so there's going to be, you know, a good percentage of people who got him that aren't registered on there. But the people who got him are going to be the most hardcore players in this game, and there aren't that many hardcore players in this game that aren't on .gg, so I think that number's probably pretty close. And so the good news is, for those of you who didn't get him, less people got him. The bad news is, I'm guessing there's a lot of you out there who put money and a lot of effort into this event and still did not get him, and so really sad phase for you guys. I feel for you. I wasn't even close. I didn't even try. I couldn't even do phase 1. So anyway, what is next? And the biggest thing that we have in our immediate future is The Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker. I would bet my legacy lightsaber, my Luke Skywalker legacy lightsaber that's back in my studio, I don't have it with me, that is where this game is going next. And so specifically, I mean, with Mandalorian, we know a little bit less about it, but I'm going to hone in a little bit more on the episode we got coming, episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. Now, I've got a lot to say about this. You guys know how I feel about The Last Jedi, but something, I really hope this movie is good. I hope it unifies us as a Star Wars community. Obviously, I enjoyed The Last Jedi. I'm always a little bit nervous to say that, but I enjoyed it, but I respect that a lot of you didn't, and that's okay. But what I think we can all agree on is this movie is really important for this fandom. What happens next could also be really important for what happens in Galaxy of Heroes. I hope we get content that we can all enjoy and celebrate. And so I'm going to give you 6 characters that I hope come to us from the Rise of Skywalker. Starting with number 1, I want to see Ghost Palpatine. All right? Let's get a new version of Palpatine. Who would not love a new version of Palpatine? Maybe he's got the First Order tag. I don't know. I'll talk a little bit about this, but right now we've got a Resistance faction and a First Order faction that kind of had a shining moment in this game, and both of them are kind of on the decline a bit. I mean, First Order used to be one of the meta Territory Wars defensive teams to put out there. Now, very few people are using it on defense. I use it as an offensive team to counter Old Republic squads now. And then Resistance, by the same token, I pretty much only use to counter Mission and Zalbar right now. First Order. I use it to counter the First Order. And so I think those factions could use a little beefing. I think that we will see that. And speaking of, we got this look at a dark side version of Rey. Now, there's a lot of speculation on what this could be within the scope of the Star Wars universe. Like, is it actually Rey, or is it a clone of Rey? I actually, if you guys want to, have a little mind melting, go read the Rey as a clone theory. Pretty interesting stuff. It's probably not what it is, but when I read it, I was like, huh, that'd be kind of cool. Which means it won't be it, 'cause fans can't figure stuff like this out. And if they can, then it's bad writing. So anyway, General Leia is the next one that I would love to see. We deserve to have a General Leia in this game, and we know that they're going to have her in Episode 9, even though Carrie Fisher, may she rest in peace, passed away quite some time ago now. From what I've read online, they are going to be using stock footage of Carrie Fisher for this, and so I think that we could have another version of Leia in this game. I think General Leia would be awesome. Maybe she could be the new Resistance leader of some kind. I don't know what they're going to do with Rey, but maybe it could be like maybe you have the second-rate Resistance team with, say, General Leia, Holdo, Poe, etc. Because Holdo and Poe get along really great, right? Now, the next one really kind of depends on how Rise of Skywalker pans out, but I am personally really thinking. I know a lot of people feel like, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen The Last Jedi, like, okay, plug your ears for a second. But really, if you haven't seen Last Jedi, I don't feel bad. But a lot of people think Snoke is dead and gone. He's not coming back, that kind of thing. And I do think he's dead, but I also feel like what happened between Kylo Ren and Snoke is probably going to be very important to this story. And so I would not be in the least bit surprised if we see a good amount of Snoke in The Rise of Skywalker, at least from a backstory perspective, and have enough substance there that we could finally bring that character into Galaxy of Heroes. I feel that there's it's a character that maybe a lot of you didn't think there was enough happening with him, and I can get behind that, but I think we saw enough to make a playable character of him. Like, look, we got Coruscant Underworld Police in this game. We can have Snoke in this game, okay? Like, we could do it. He did enough. He showed us enough of his powers that I think that you could at least have a couple abilities and maybe make him a new solid leader of the First Order faction. I think that would be amazing. So Snoke is the next one, number 4, that I would really love to see hit this game. Now, this one I think is very, very practical, and that is I'm going to call it Sith Trooper 2.0, because we've already got Sith Trooper in this game, but these red Stormtroopers, even though it's kind of just like, all right, all you did is you made them red, it still looks sweet. Okay, like, maybe it's for merch. I don't know. You know how Star Wars does. Like, this is always. Have you ever see Spaceballs? They've been making fun of this since the 70s, like merchandising. Like, maybe that's, either way, it looks sweet, And so I would love to have another trooper in this game, and it could be a nice supplementary character to add into the First Order faction. Again, what I would really like to see here is some kind of beefing of the First Order and Resistance factions from this. Maybe do more so that we can, have more of a meta place for them in Grand Arena. It's probably important to highlight we just had a shift in meta in the squad arena, or at least it's coming towards General Skywalker. So unlikely that we see a meta shift here. I think a lot of people are assuming that there will be one with Rise of Skywalker. I'm not so convinced, at least not at first. Maybe there'll be one a little bit later, a couple months after the movie hits. But historically speaking, they're going to give Anakin at least 4 to 5 months, I think, before something new and big would shake up the squad arena meta. But I could really see the First Order and Resistance becoming a very, very important Grand Arena team. This game's about a lot more than squad arena nowadays, and so I'm hoping personally to see something like that. And so Sith Trooper could really help round out the First Order faction as well. And then finally, we got my boy, Grand Master Luke, Force Ghost Luke, whatever he's going to be. Look, this is a Skywalker trilogy. We need to have the old version. Like, I really want to have General Leia, but Grandmaster Luke, I feel like this is a must. Like, whether or not he is a Force Ghost, whether or not he is, resurrected or whatever they do, like, no one's ever really gone. I don't know what they're going to do. Or if it's, maybe the old version of him from TLJ, they're just bringing it now. Look, it's Luke. Let's bring him into the game. I think that it would be amazing to have another version of him, especially the older generation version. We got veteran Han, all right? We don't have the Leia or the Luke. Come on, CG. Throw us a bone. Give us something. Give us something we want. So those are the 6 characters that I think could come to the game. There's a lot of others I could list, but these are probably the 6 that I'm probably the most interested in. I could probably come up with a few others, but those are the ones that really stood out to me. The last thing I will mention, and this kind of is like me being a dead horse, but the last thing that I really want to see come with Rise of Skywalker is actual playable, enjoyable, unique content. Not territory battles that is reskinned, not epic confrontation characters, not Relics tier 8 through 10, which, by the way, CG, I know you did this survey, and I really hope that you listen to whatever data is there. I don't know what it's going to say, but I cannot imagine that everyone's like, yeah, give us the next iteration of Relics. Let's do it. So please, not that, like actual playable, enjoyable content. This game is starving for it right now. And if the players could have something like that to enjoy along with Episode 9, and especially playable content that that doesn't just appeal to the top, tip of the spear kind of players, or even just the end game players. Like with episode 9, we're gonna have a lot of new players coming to this game. That's when whole reason I downloaded Galaxy Heroes is I was hyped about episode 7. I wanted to find a Star Wars game to play on my phone. We're going to have more people like that. This could be a very important juncture for this game. And so let's bring in some content that all of us can enjoy. Please, CG, so that we can have some excitement, some real genuine excitement. This game deserves it. So that's what I think we could be in for the next few months. What do you guys think down in the comments below? And you know what? Give me a wish list. Give me your wish list. Next, between now and the end of the year, what are the top 3 things you want to see hit Galaxy of Heroes, whether it's a character, a certain item of content, whatever. Tell me whatever your thoughts are. I will read all of them. Thanks again for joining me for the video, my friends. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up. And as always, my brothers, don't forget,